Doom 2016 is known for being the action game of the year, but does its sequel live up to that high and mighty standard? Keep watching to find out. To be honest, it really does. Doom Eternal builds upon what the last entry gave us, which was a kind of reimagining of the series, brought into the modern era, and kind of refreshed because it was about time for it to be refreshed. Um, in case you don't know anything about Doom, essentially demons have taken over the earth and everywhere, and you're this big badass guy with a chainsaw and a shotgun, and you have to go in and kill them all. The last entry kind of retold the story of how it came to be, and well, we won't go into that. You can go back and watch reviews of that. And this one, essentially, you're in a big ship orbiting the Earth, and you have got a portal which takes you down to Earth into different areas to take down these demons. And at the beginning of the game, you have to kill 3 priests to basically to cause the stop of the demon threat, and the story develops from there. But I'm not going to go into spoilers for the story because there are lots of little nods and Easter eggs and things that long-time fans of the Doom series will really appreciate. So honestly, for story, I don't want to ruin it. I will do a spoiler review of the story at some point. Me personally, I'm not a long-standing fan of the Doom series. I had the last Doom, 2016, normal Doom, and also in VR. So I was a big fan of it. I loved it absolutely. So being given the opportunity to review this game before release is a big deal for me. I'm a big fan of Bethesda. You know, they've been in some bad press recently, but let me tell you, they've really knocked out of the park with Doom Eternal, and they need to be spoken about again.
From the souls of the non-believers, you will not save them from their judgment.
Okay, so a bit more about this game. As I said, you've got the big ship. It's like a level in itself. There's loads of things to unlock and explore within the ship. There are weapon mods, there are practice arenas, all within the ship. So there's loads to do, and each time you go back, you're given something new, which I'll go on to the new weapons in a minute. Like I said, you're teleported down, and what I really liked was the levels themselves feel a lot bigger, and you're forced to use the new platform mechanics given to you to actually fight your way around, become victorious in combat, and also just to find all the new secrets and puzzles. So, for example, there's a mid-air dash, double dash, and also there's lots. I can't remember if it's new, but there are like poles. So, like you've played most platform games, where you swing around a pole in this game. So you have to dash to the pole, swing, hit or climb a wall, you know, go up and around and stuff like that. And there's like launch pads which launch you into the air, and that's pretty much every combat arena. So you kind of have to take advantage of all these elements they've given you to, like I said, get the upper hand and also to find secrets. You're forced to find secrets such as things that are going to level you up, modify your equipment, modify your weapons, and also lives. You don't get many lives, it's like a 1-up, so you can kind of die once and have another chance at the combat. It's a lot harder than the last one. I found that I to an extent I could run and gun in the last one, just run around shooting, kind of not paying too much attention to what I was doing. Whereas this one, you have to take down the enemies in a certain way. You have to do them in often a certain pattern. So you know you have to take out the bigger guys. But I'll go on to that again more in a minute. More on the combat. I just want to talk about the levels. There are many variations of levels in this one. Like I said, they're huge. There's like kind of medieval Europe. There's frozen tundras. There's lava, fiery worlds as we've seen before, and they're massive. There's so many secrets to go and find, and you can come back to levels when you've locked later abilities and go back to find the secrets that you couldn't see before. And I love this. I love that it wasn't just and it never has been, but it's not at all a simple first-person shooter. You have to use your wits to really get the most out of the game. And also, I've been going through it in 2 difficulties. I've had one on easy and one I started on hard, dropped down to medium because it was really hard. So you can watch that on the playthrough I've recorded. And I would say playing on easy is really fun. It's been a good way of doing it, so I could find out more about the game to review it. But I think at least medium is the way you should play this, because it forces you to think about what you're doing and actually play the game as it should be. So yeah, levels are awesome, massive, and you have to explore them. And this coincides greatly, as I mentioned a few times, with the visceral combat of Doom. Obviously the whole game is focused around really the combat and the sound. Yes, the story is there to serve a great purpose, but if you're like me, you may not really be involved in the whole Doom story. You may not know all the characters they involve. You may just be here for the fun of it, and there's a hell of a lot of fun to be had. So it's much more than the first-person shooter. You've got like loads of different powers, loads of different guns. There's shotgun, rocket launcher, machine guns, all sorts of kind of pulse cannon. There's loads and loads of guns, and all of them have different modifications and attachments you can unlock and upgrade. So you can have like a bomb launcher, you can have missiles, you've got a kind of weird microwave beam, you've got this new one which is a grappling hook which shoots out the shotgun to close the distance between, kind of like Scorpion, between you and the demons, and just makes you annihilate them. Along with the new weapons and abilities, there's an ice bomb. Obviously you freeze your opponents. And there's also a shoulder mounted flamethrower. It's more than just setting people on fire. It doesn't really have a great effect in terms of actually damage, but what it does do is forces enemies to drop armor. So you have to be clever and use this along with the other abilities that you've got to constantly fill your own health and your own shield so you don't die. So you have to set them on fire and then move into a different, like a glory kill, which essentially you must have seen the glory kills and you'll be able to see in the footage here. By the way, the footage here is played on easy, just so it looks a bit more flashy, but like I said, the recorded playthrough is on hard and medium, so you'll get an idea of the different difficulties if you watch both. The glory kills, you have to stagger the enemy, so you get them down to a certain level of health. They go all flashing staggered. You click the R3 button, you move in, and you do a really awesome melee kill. And depending on what side you approach them from, it will do a different one. So for example, the big, I don't know, like big brain crab things with 4 legs. If you go from the front, you'll grab their leg and then stab them in the eye. But if you go from like the side, you'll take out one of their missiles and kill them with the missile bomb thing, put it in their mouth. And it's like that for everyone, he rips off arms, legs. There are these snake things where he slices them 3 ways with the little arm sword thing he has. And talking of swords, of course, there is now the Doom Blade. The Doom Blade is just like, you're just running around slicing people open for the fun of it. It is so awesome, and it makes you feel like just a badass swordsman, and it kind of leads into the medieval Europe style of this one. There are kind of these knights as well that give you power-ups, they're little holograms, and it's kind of like you're led to believe that this is kind of your lineage, and I like that. This whole is like kind of Knights of the Round Table medieval feel to a lot of it. So yeah, like you're setting them on fire, grabbing armor, and then you're having to glory kill to get some health. Then you use your chainsaw to get some ammo. Meanwhile, avoiding all the attacks. And also, there's a lot of enemies who have like turret guns on them, so they'll be firing at you from far away. So you have to destroy the turret, so they stop, hitting you. So the guys close up to you kind of try and distract you. So you have to do that, so you can concentrate on them. And then that guy has to come in and come closer. You kill him. The big floating goblin eye things you may have seen, you have to like shoot a grenade into their mouth to stagger them. But if you try and glory kill them when they're far away, and you could easily drop off the edge and die. So you really have to think about what you're doing. I found that I often was trying to run away so I couldn't make tactics, but then I'd fall off the edge because the actual fighting arenas aren't that big, but it's all on purpose. It's all to make you play better and force you to, like I said, to think about what you're doing, to kill smartly. This is what this game is about. It's not just simple kind of Call of Duty shooting. There's so much more to it. You have to think about what you're doing the whole time. And that is why it's so good. It's really, really fun. Like I said, you can play it on easy, you can just run through and kill everything in sight with a little bit of difficulty. Or you can play it a bit harder, play as it should be played, and kind of have this difficulty where it makes you think about what you're doing. Talking of difficulty, there are now Slayer gates. Essentially, they're like arenas which you run into, and you have to rip and tear your way through. But they get more and more difficult. I've actually completed one yet, but the game advises you to come back when you've got more weapons and abilities. So when you've unlocked, all the different things of the shotgun, you might be able to come back and move your way through all the waves of enemies and kill them. So essentially, the combat just doesn't get boring. Then you go on to the boss fights, which have got the whole other thing where you're well, you've just got to think about what you're doing. There's different ways to take them down. They're not just shoot. You have to avoid attacks, think about what you're doing, think about how to kill them. There's a certain method to kill them, as you probably have seen before. Coupling all of this amazing action and fun is the amazing soundtrack by Mick Gordon. The guitars and the synths and everything are slowly building all around you the whole time, and then when you start to get into a battle, they build up. And when you're actually fighting and it's intense, it's like a full-on heavy metal soundtrack. And I'm a fan of heavy metal anyway, so for me, I'm sure for everyone playing it, it's just the perfect soundtrack. It feels like you should be listening to heavy metal when you're running around slaying demons with a shotgun and a chainsaw. Why wouldn't you? And it's funny talking about the shotgun. No matter all the weapons I get, if I've got ammo for the shotgun, it's always the one I tend to use. I love the sticky bomb attachment. And even though I've got a rocket launcher or a plasma rifle and all this and the sword, I still go back to use my shotgun the whole time. I find it just feels awesome, and wow, I just love it. I just remembered there was one power up I've forgotten to mention. One new ability is the blood punch, which essentially you build up as you fight, and it's one melee punch that takes out a wave of enemies in one go, which is really, really awesome. So as I said, there's loads of new stuff. The levels are bigger. You're forced to explore. That's coupled with this amazing action and fighting. So there's a lot that the game has to offer, and for new and old fans.
It's humanity's chance to repent, to give service to us. You cannot resist the will of the Khan Maker.
Activating the portal now.
So to be honest with you, I can't fault this game. The soundtrack's awesome, the weapons are awesome, the combat is awesome. The level design is fantastic. It looks amazing. There's also loads of customization. I haven't gone into. You can customize your Doomslayer. There are things that I don't want to spoil about the gameplay, but there are so many little surprises that you just go, oh yes, that is so awesome. You're walking around and you're seeing things, you're like, I hope I get to do that, and you often can. There's so much on offer here. For anyone who's a fan of action games, pick this up. Even if you're a fan of games, don't miss out on this game. Because I can't fault this game at all, I have to give Doom Eternal a 10 out of 10. I said it. There will be another review. There are certain elements of the game that I can't play because of the pre-launch stuff, so I will come back with another review. When I've done everything in the game, I'll re-review it, see if I still at 10. But like I said, I played it for all weekend, and I can't put it down, and it's perfect. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Doom Eternal, Bethesda, well done. Thank you for an amazing game.
Please, anyone, if you can hear me, if you're out there.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
So anyway, thanks for watching. As always, you can watch the rest of my videos, The Lightning Cave, all over YouTube. There's a FIFA career mode battle, me and Mikey battling to get to Champions League. There's the Bears Den. There are reviews by everyone on the site. Luke's currently doing a Neo 2 playthrough, which is really, really cool. And as always, we're all available on respawning.co.uk. Expect the podcast to make a big comeback very soon. And check out all of our stuff on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.